So where are we now?
So this is Pageant Gardens, Sherborne, so literally 5 minutes from our shop. This is a project we completed about 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was an existing big...
Is this the access?
One of the access. Yeah,
Oh,
so
geez.
it's tight. Yeah, tight. So you can imagine getting a 3-ton machine down here and yeah, fun.
Seen a couple of pictures on social media. So what was here before? Was it grass or?
No, basically the whole thing was a pond. So a concrete pond that went through and then crazy paving.
Like a paddling pool or an actual pond or a bit of...
So initially, about 100 years ago when it was first put in, it was quite a sizable pond. Over time it's just got smaller and smaller and smaller. And basically what they were left with was a half-foot puddle. Yep. Full of duckweed, full of duck poo, just stagnant. The waterfall didn't run. It'd just been vandalised over the years. They just didn't know what to do with it. So basically what we've got is the old footprint to it. So first thing we did was strip the old pond out. All the crazy paving was crushed up. So basically nothing left site. So we filled in the pond with the crazy paving, which was brilliant. So recycling again. And then because groundwater is such an issue here, we had to build up.
Yeah.
So in winter, this whole thing floods. Wow. So if you look where we're standing, this is a big bowl. So basically the whole of Sherbourne floods straight down to here. So this can be under about a foot of water. So basically everything had to go up. Our pond just wasn't feasible. We'd love to have put a pond in, but it just wasn't.
So you did everything, you did all of the landscaping, the resin?
We had contractors come in to do the resin. We did the prep for the pathways and then the contractor came in and did the resin on. But again, this was all turf, so we've done all the turfing, and so basically this outline here is the old pond, and it goes all the way through. So we built on the old foundations of the pond, and came up that way. So we were governed slightly by the site, but I think the design actually works quite well.
So what have we got here? So we've got basalt columns.
Basalt columns, again, not how we'd normally display them, but because of the space, we had to spread them out. I actually quite like them, and I'm going to probably use this again. Instead of clustering them, I'm going to pull them out again. So this is what I call my little zen area. So I love this. I think it's simple. Again, there's a huge amount of plants to go in. So the next kind of 4 weeks, they're going to plant this like crazy. I've asked that this just be kept slightly open because I actually quite enjoy the space here.
Or keep it low profile. So who's going to do the? Is it the Parks Department?
We've basically handed over. So we were contracted to remove the old pond, to do all the prep work, to put these water features in, and then it's passed on to the council now.
So was this your design? Team? So you're not working with a designer; it's your design.
We designed it all. I did the initial drawings, which are obviously, I'm not a drawer. I'm not an illustrator, so we passed that then on to get professional drawings done. We've changed it slightly because of the site. So as I say, we were governed by the old footprint of the pond. So there's a huge amount of concrete under here that we just couldn't remove from site. So again, we used that concrete, so we weren't having to ship materials in. We built up straight off that.
And I bet there was an issue because it's a public park when you're building this,
so
with security and everything.
I mean, that was one of our biggest things. So we had basically a ring of steel. It looked a bit like the Cornwall summit. So basically we had hoarding up the whole thing. You can still see some of the marks. So it was a completely enclosed area. We had an access gate there. We could come and we were left alone. We were broken into a couple of times. We did have vandalism, bits and pieces on site, but I think that's part and parcel of a project like this. And we were here for 11 weeks, so to be honest, I'm pretty happy with how it came out in terms of vandalism.
So again, you've got basin underneath.
So we've over-spec'd everything. One thing the council said is they wanted low maintenance. So basically, if we were to do this in a garden, we'd do quite a fairly small catchment reservoir, whereas this whole bed is a double stack of aqua blocks.
I love the feeling that you've got. It's really weird. I've seen spillway bowls, in a number of different places, and it's like, because it's raised and it's very intimate, and the flow, the double, it's soothing.
It's nice. I mean, that was the whole thing, that they didn't want anything over the top. Again, when we went through the design consultation with them, we said, basically what we have to do is put a park within a park.
Yeah.
Because if we try and compete with the space here, we'd have to do a 30-foot waterfall, you'd have to do something for it to stand out. If we close it in, we can do smaller water features, make it more intimate, make it more of a seating area where people can come and chill out and relax and just enjoy it, which is the feedback we're getting. People come and spend an hour or so here and just relax.
And did you invite them back to your display?
Yeah, so
how did you?
Yeah, so again, we've worked with the council, with the ground staff for a number of years. Obviously, they've been buying treatments and bits and pieces to try and sort the pond out here. So they've been battling it for years. So we were probably the first ones they approached.
Yeah.
We did the initial design thinking the normal process is you put a design in there and they tweak it and they say, we like this, this, this and this, but we'd like to lose this. And they didn't, they said, just do it. Let's go with it, which is brilliant. Obviously for us, we'd kind of hoped they would take a few bits away because it would be less work, but we're happy with the end result.
Yeah.
And I think splitting it into zones works well.
It's great.
Yeah. So it's that, I mean, once these trees all fill in, this is going to really close itself in.
Yeah.
Again, we've gone with evergreens so it can be enjoyed all year round as well. I think the planting they're going for over there is, again, because that's shaded all day, ferns and tree ferns and bits and pieces that way.
Let's go and have a look at the shaded area. So where do we get around there? Do we
either way. Again, this was one of the things, we tried to create access points all over it. So you can come in that way or you can come to the central area where you've got the main seating area.
Wow, straight away.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Listen to that. Pondless waterfall.
Pondless waterfall with a small wildlife pond at the top. It's actually 1 metre deep, but what we've done is we've put a false bottom on there because obviously health and safety, we can't have 1 metre deep, but we obviously need that water volume so they're not having to top it up or the whole thing doesn't go green.
So that's a different feature. So you've got a wildlife pond
completely separate
to the pondless.
We have lots of ducks and ducklings.
And so again, it's great because it looks like one feature.
To link it, yeah. We have ducklings April, May time. We didn't want to see them going flying down the waterfall, so we had to protect them that way. Again, it is designed so it's a separate feature.
And when I first came over, I was like, why has Tom put a stump right in the middle of the waterfall? But now I know it's 2 features, so it's like...
It's just to break it up.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Again, we were governed by the site with this one, so I would love to have put a massive reservoir under here. We hit groundwater straight away. There is a relief pipe, so under there is a soak away, and it does actually work. We had a pretty horrendous storm here a few weeks ago, and that was flowing, so it is working. But again, it's just a single layer of aqua blocks, so I'd love to have gone 2 or 3 layers.
Yeah. I can hear the noise of some spheres,
so again,
some stacked slate.
Yeah, so again you walk through, we've got our stumpery on the left hand side, something I was very keen on. The one thing we found when we did an initial survey on the pond to see what sort of aquatic life was there. Obviously we had to do it before we started work. We did find a few newts, but they were massively undernourished, and we found no invertebrate life, just nothing. So basically we were very keen to put a stumpery in, try and get the inverts and insects and pollinators that way.
And where do you get your stumps from? Do you collect them?
So these are supplied for us. These come from the Forest of Dean. So there's a very nice lady that drives down every now and then, and she brings me 12 or 14 stumps.
Lovely.
And again, they're nice oak stumps, all mature, moss covered, so they just give it that look. Once this closes in, the ferns come back and the site recovers, it'll look stunning.
And again, I love the height of the... It's really weird for me to come and interact with a raised basin. It's great. Rather than standing and towering above stuff, it's elevated. It's sort of almost like you've put it on a stage.
Yeah, basically that's the thing. Again, with the trees and bits and pieces, it's all about scale. So something that seems quite small, as soon as you raise it up 800, it looks huge. And again, in a few years' time, this will all close itself in and make it even more intimate. Again, when I got the large sphere, I got it out of the box slightly panicked the size of it. Thought, oh God, that's not, you know, it's too big. We put it up on there, it looks absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It's all in keeping, it's all in scale.
Yeah.
The garden is used, so basically Pageant Garden is always used. They do an independent market here every 2 months.
Lovely.
So this whole area is full of stall holders and bits and pieces, which is great. I mean, we walked down on that Sunday and this whole area was full of people, you know, sitting on the rocks, sitting on the blocks, which is, as a builder, is lovely to see. It's, you know, it's somebody using what you've built, and you forget all the stress, and you forget all the supply issues,
the breaking in of the night time,
the vandalism, the staffing issues, the sheer amount of materials we had to bring on site. I mean, I'll show you the entrance, our main entrance in a minute. I think we got close to 200 to 300 tons through that gateway.
Wow. Which
I'm happy with. Both wing mirrors are intact, so I take that as a win. Yeah, all good.
So we've got the salt columns, spillway bowls, urns, pondless, and then a wildlife pond. So did you mock it up before, or you know, how did you come up with this design?
So basically we were governed by sleepers. So if you've got a 2.4 metre sleeper, you can get 3 lengths of 800 out of it. Yep. We knew that was would give you about eye height for the water features. It wasn't until we put them on we knew it worked. So it was a gamble, but it worked.
It's massive. Yeah. It's the impact that you're getting. You know, I've been and seen fountainscapes elevation even higher, but not as close.
Yeah. It's nice as well. You can, you know, the whole thing is it should be interactive, and you know, I'll stand on the bank and I watch kids and they'll be playing as they do. They should be allowed.
Pinching the pebbles,
blocking them up, you know, moving them around there. But it's a public park. Yeah. You know, it shouldn't be fenced off. It should be used by all. So. And
again, that elevation, it stops the toddlers from, you know.
Yeah, it's safe.
Stops the balls.
Yeah.
You know, footballs and stuff.
Yeah, it's safe. It's practical. I mean, I'd love to have probably done a bit more artistry on these and mixed it up and cut bits and done, but it has to be practical. It has to be something that if we're not around, the council could change or could fix. So it's literally off the shelf, but I think it works. Okay, so this is strange, and this wasn't meant. I'd love to take credit for this, but it wasn't meant. If you walk into this central seating area, so talk normally, get into this point. Yeah. I think you're close to me. You hear that?
Yeah, it's messing with my head. What is it? Is it an ampler?
Yeah, basically it's
an echo chamber.
Echo chamber is probably one word of. Basically, what happened? It didn't happen until we put these.
It's mad.
We didn't put these corner pieces on, so we put these oak corner pieces on the final day. And that was it. So it closed this area on, and the sound just resonates. I
feel like you're Darren Brown now, messing with my mind.
Yeah, we threw this one in for free.
It's odd.
It's weird.
You've got to come here and check this out, because I don't know how to describe this on video.
Hello, testing, 1 2, 1 2. What I had for breakfast, I had sausage, egg,
chicken.
Oh my God, incredible. Hello.
Yeah,
That is mad.
That piece, all the awkward cuts we did last. So all these joints, and as soon as we filled it in, I walked in there and almost fell over.
1 2. 1 1 1.
It's strange because it's open here.
Amazing.
It's open.